The Nai Miris only being consumed by the majority of the Sri Lankans, that's Sinhalese. And the palm jaggery is only consumed by the Tamils from the northern community. So I thought, oh my gosh, this product connects to community without even me realizing it. I didn't even think on that point.
Harmony in a bottle.
Harmony in a bottle. So when they try the product, they ask, what's this Nai Miris? I said, when you all try Tabasco, do you all ask what Tabasco is? It's a chili, right? Similar to this. Nai Miris is a chili. I'm not going to change this name. I'm going to keep it as Nai Miris. People need to understand. They need to go and do their research and figure it out.
Shivani is a purpose-driven business owner with a clear vision and a plan to inspire you into action.
It's no more my kitchen business. It has to now move beyond, because for exports, you need certifications. For certifications, you need a proper setup. Hatch, they came forward to support me. They knew, they understood my passion. Supermarket just rejected us just because we didn't include images of chilies and ingredients on the label. The ladies who work for me, they love to come for work because for the environment, the atmosphere I have created. Because
if someone buys one of your products and opens it, what do you want them to feel?
I only want them to feel proud about the product they have in their hand. It's not just another product. It's the courage of a woman, a dream of a woman, a vision that I carry in me for just not for my brand, for my country as well.
Shivani, thank you so much for making time to chat. We met about 13 years ago when life was very different for both of us. And I've watched recently your journey and been inspired by what you were doing, how you were doing. I put in the research to watch, your previous podcast, read your articles and see the journey, because I want to find a way that we can have a chat and pull out some of those successes, some of those mistakes, so somebody else doesn't have to make the same thing. Somebody else doesn't have to go through it. But I want to unearth some of that story also as a bit of a record or a document for you.
Yeah.
Of all the things you could have created and started, tell me about why you started Miris and why somebody should definitely try it. What makes it unique?
Rewinding back to, I think, 2017, that's where I was conceived with my elder one. So soon after the delivery, I was interested. I don't know. It was not by choice. I had everyone's help around me, but then I decided I want to spend some time with my little one, because that's the first time I became a mom, obviously. But I didn't know what to do, how to, handle things, because I was not a multitasker at the time. So I decided I'm going to take things one at a time. So I decided to quit my job. I was working for one of the most prestigious company in Sri Lanka, tea company that I'm really admiring still. But then I have to give up all my dreams just for this reason. So even within, so I took almost 1 year and a half of career break. Within the career break, I didn't want to just also sit at home. I decided to complete my master's. So not that I was at home doing nothing. While I was managing my children, my child, my elder one, while also doing it, I was doing my master's. I completed it in 2018. It was a 5-year a program which I have to complete by 2018, by the way. So I completed it, and I applied back, because that time he was 1.5 and I had my mom next to me. So she was saying, I'll look after you, just go back to work. You have studied all this, you have gained all this expertise, not just to sit at home. That was kind of the advice I received from my parents. So then, okay, I thought, okay, why not then? So I started applying for jobs. I almost ended up applying for almost 70 jobs. I have 69 resumes in the folder where I have did the cover letter for each company. So almost 70. So not a single company called me to even ask why I even took a career break. Not a single company mind to even understand the side of the reason. Because I was a woman, I took a career break. There could have been many reasons, but not a single company wanted to. It from small to large, I applied literally 70. And at a point, I thought, why am I even doing this now? Because I know, financially, it's obviously challenging. But with one, I thought I can handle, all the financial burdens I think my husband could handle. So I decided I'm going to stay at home. I'm going to stay back home and just prove what a mother is capable of in some way. I didn't have any idea about starting a business at the time, but I wanted to show it in a way that people would understand. Just because she became a mom just because she took a career break, it doesn't mean she's incompetent or she would not be able to perform in her job. So, I mean, because I had a lot of dreams about my career. So when everything shut, I had only this kind of anger, which eventually turned to be a courage. So I completely gave up looking for jobs. I gave up completely. I didn't want to even when I'm thinking about it back, it's very emotional. But that was the kind of feeling I had at the time. Why should I be working for someone when no one respects me as a woman or as even a mother? COVID struck, and before COVID, I think I've been trying few I was good at baking, so I was trying some baking options as well. I was baking for people, I was baking for customers, but that also felt like I'm not still making something unique that will put me out on the limelight. I was not doing something that'll bring that attention to not towards me, but towards what I'm doing, what my background is, right? So where am I coming from? I want to bring that story out from what I'm doing. So when COVID struck, of course, I was such a chili addict. I didn't have access to any chili, even powder to fresh chilies. And not only me, I think most of the majority of the population didn't have access because there was no transportation from the farmers. There was no connection between farmers to the end customers. So this random farmer on a random day, he brought all his sauce from here, all his produce from his farm, and he sold directly door to door. And that's the very first time I saw like a bag full of Nai Miris because I'm a Tamil. So we hardly have access to Nai Miris. I've never even come across this chili called Nai Miris. Our family, I think, we predominantly use this dried red chili or the green chilies. So Nai Miris was not part of our lifestyle. So when I saw this, I was like, doesn't matter. I'm going to just grab them all because for me, I was looking for chilies. I was so, I was so hungry for hot chili, red chilies or green chilies, whichever that was there. So I have to grab all of them. And it was around 500 grams, as I remember. And I immediately shared that on Instagram, asking for my friends to suggest some, recipes that I can make out of it. So one of these ex-colleague, he told me, Shivani, why don't you make a sauce for me? Because I need it once soon after the lockdown is lifted. Could you come and hand that over to me? Because I need to meet my friends for a drink. I said, okay, fine, for a drink. How will I make it more that can suit the, kind of a vibe, with the snacks. So it should not be kind of a salsa sauce, but has to be something Sri Lankan style. So definitely it has to be Sri Lankan style because I didn't have access to any ingredients as much as would a online or like a Google recipe would give. So whatever I had at that moment, I prepared some sauce out of Nai Miris. But I did a lot of research. I understood what this hot sauce is. Hot sauce, it was not the thing in the Sri Lankan market. It was not at all a spoken category in the local market. It was always ketchup and chili sauces. That's all I knew. So when hot sauce was something that when I came across during my research, I thought, okay, let me try this out. What this hot sauce is. So when I did the research, I came to know that this is the kind of ingredients. This is what has to go in. So with all that little ingredients that I had at home, I prepared this sauce for him and I hand it over to my ex-colleague. His name is Gautam. And I think in 3 to 4 days' time, he came back with an order for 10 jars. I was like, oh my God, where am I going to get the ingredients now? 10 jars. But then I thought, okay, if there is a demand for 10 jars, then there is a gap in the market. There is something lacking in the market. So I started thinking through a lot. And of course, so we had like 1 week gap, I think, for the next lockdown. So I have to like quickly run around the city to find all these ingredients that I did with. Of course, I added bell pepper. I don't know. I had bell pepper at home, but nowadays, no way. But at the time, bell pepper was very cheap. So I had access to that. I grabbed all of that. And we were able to recreate the sauce again, hand it over to those 10 to my friend. And I think that was the starting point for Miris. That's where it all began. When I identified the gap, when I knew there is something lacking, there is something not available for the niche, or probably the customers, or the people who truly admire or like celebrate chilies. That's where I decided, okay, I need to venture into this. I need to start something on this line, because this is going to break to the local market in a better way than I think. So I think that's where it all started for Miris, and now it's been 5 years ever since we started. Been doing, of course, we had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of failures, challenges, and a lot of wins as well. But we have come through, because I knew I'm yet in my journey to prove who I am still. So yeah.
Tell me about the product. What makes it unique?
So in other countries, when they say hot sauce, they have so many varieties of chilies that can bring some quality and personality to each sauce. But in Sri Lanka, Scotch bonnet was the only option, even right now, highly widely available for anyone. Because those unique habaneros to Carolina Reapers. Reapers are not definitely for local market. They usually export, so hard to find them unless I'm ready to have my harvest my own produce. So then I thought, in which way we can add value to our sauce, because just I don't want to bring something basic hot sauce, but I thought, why not we include some Sri Lankan ingredients, or probably these fruits and spices that can bring some uniqueness to the local hot sauce. And that's why I think I started off with pineapple, but eventually I had this thought about, why not I include coffee? Why not I include passion fruit? Like all these ingredients that not that I personally like, but those ingredients are not utilized. They are hidden. They are lost. Those ingredients, not ingredients, I would say, those spices and fruits are not highlighted out as other ingredients would do. So most of the sauces had like pineapple to mango, but then I thought I should make it unique by adding some unique ingredients that will also bring that flavor, that kick, that experience a customer would need. So every time a Miris customer, when they buy a Miris bottle, I want to ensure they always get the flavor and point out the brand. This has to be Miris, because from the unique offering, unique taste, what it offers. So every single bottle, we have actually 5 flavors, 5 heat levels. So every single bottle has its own story, its personality, spice levels, the method of preparation. The process itself is very lengthy, because it's all 100% natural. So no chemicals, no preservatives, just bringing the island flavor packed in a bottle for every customer. So this is Ceylon coffee, Ceylon cinnamon, which are very unique to our Sri Lankan. Ceylon coffee is not even highlighted out. So I want to bring something out to the market out there. Ceylon coffee is a specialty coffee from Ambe Estate. It's one of the oldest estate, I think, Ambe Estate, who also produce tea and coffee. So all these little stories, I want to connect all of that and create a beautiful brand out of it. And that's why it makes so special, other than unlike other hot sauces.
Shivani, the common perception is to build something, to tell a story. You need to be in the right mindset. You need to have a calm space, all of those things. From my wife having had 2 little ones, I know sometimes that's not easy.
Yeah.
I know there could be complications during delivery. There could be complications after that. My wife suffered with preeclampsia, which is a high blood pressure related issue. She stayed at home for more than 1.5 years for each child.
Wow.
And going back to work is a challenge.
Yeah.
How did you bust through sometimes a little bit of disappointment when you applied for 69 plus jobs? How did you bust through that? Because where did you find the courage? I know there's a bit of anger there, and there was, but how did you bust through that?
I don't know. I think I completely thank God for that, because I don't know how I even navigated through that journey, that path. Because of course the family supported me. They never discouraged. They never pointed out my failures, my disappointments, my inability ability not join back into a job. No one pointed it out. So I felt not comfortable, but it never seeped through my heart. I never took it to my heart so much. But of course I had anger, because my dreams, my career dream was something beyond expectation that I couldn't achieve, was something that I thought, okay, I'm going to fail, but I'm not going to fail for any reason. Kind of so many emotions that were running in me. I think, it's with the little one. I think I was able to navigate through because I had plenty of time with my little one, and the time with him, the time spent with him quietly took over from that kind of journey, from that experience. But all saying all that, giving all of that as a reason, I had this courage from somewhere that I need to do something. That's all I had in my heart. But then, to be honest, it's a bit of a challenge for me, because I didn't know Sinhala language much, so I can't speak in Sinhala much as well. So that was another big challenge for me. So I was having this kind of thinking process that's running in me, whether I'm not capable enough. Am I not competent to to join back? I even thought of giving up my life for so many reasons. But then I think I was able to come back because of my son, who gave me that love and care, because I saw that in him. And of course, God, who completely brought me out of this mess, actually, to be honest, a mess. But it's all about the courage that I had from nowhere as a mother. You will eventually be getting that, I think. So it's just that I don't know how to answer this question, but that's all I felt like, just the courage that as a mother I received at the time to continue my life despite all these situations. Because it's actually very demotivating when you cannot, for me, I don't know, I'm a person like that. If I cannot achieve something, I cannot sit in that place, watching things moving, when people are achieving things, when the people are doing much more than more than me, I feel like, okay, why am I not performing? Why am I doing anything about it? So that really demotivated me, pulled my strength, pulled my courage. But all of this, I think I built it within these 2 years from 2017 to 2020. I was able to build it up little by little, giving some time for myself. Of course, it was a bit of a heavy burden time, but I gave myself time. I gave some time for myself, and it's the family support, I think, more than ever. I hope you can cut the job, but I don't know.
No, I love that story, because a lot of the time people see the success.
Yeah.
People see the mountaintop.
Yeah.
No one sees the climb. No one wants to see the climb also. They just see Island Mom Miris and they go, oh yeah, she's a successful entrepreneur. It doesn't start there.
Yeah.
Thank you for having the courage to share your story, because I know a lot of moms that go through the same thing. Nowadays, we all take the time to study, to build our careers, to travel a little bit. The biological clock doesn't stop. And then you're in a rush to have this child, but then you've also built the career. How do you do that with them? So it takes courage to share. Thank you for sharing. But I want to also share with everybody else that some of these challenges are real.
Yeah.
And people don't really talk about it,
Yeah.
but the challenges are real. And success isn't a linear journey. Today, you don't think about it and then click a button and it doesn't start working like that.
Yeah.
In your mind, Shivani, as a corporate, as somebody who's worked in corporate, as somebody who's now established a business, without thinking of a specific organization, what do the large corporates need to do to support a mother returning to the workforce better?
I for the past 5 to almost 8 years now, so I actually don't know how the corporates are, whether they have evolved from what it was before, all these 70 companies that have applied. I'm sure that they wouldn't have had any, any programs built in for moms or even for women to support women back in their career, even if they have taken a career break. But I can clearly see that from my husband's bank. Like, if not for them, I can vouch. I don't know how will I be handling my Miris, because they have a specialized daycare for their own staff, just only for their staff. So it's a dedicated space, and that has allowed me to, pursue my further my journey in Miris, because after my second one was born, I completely moved out from my parents. I came away from them, and I didn't have any help, any support. I don't even have mates to help me at home. So it's just that itself is supporting me and my husband, especially in his work, in my business. I mean, little things. I know it might be costing a lot for them, but it for me it's a lot. I don't know about my husband, but for me it's such a big support for me. All that little things would definitely support a woman. I think it's the culture that brings this change into a company. I'm sure nowadays, people embrace, because there's so much talk about women empowerment, supporting female workers and moms. So I believe there must be a cultural shift inside the organizations supporting all these kind of moms and females. But I don't know how far it has penetrated to within all the companies within Sri Lanka. So I think it's the absolute perception that has to be changed towards women and moms, especially moms. At least women they have some sort of favor, but then not, I would say favor, but I think moms who need absolute support from, not just from the company itself, but even the culture, the programs they inbuilt, the support they can provide. So it has to be the culture and the perception shift, which I believe.
Lots of people have nice labels, Shivani. Lots of people have nice taglines.
Yeah.
What's the action? If you can bring it down to one action, what's the one action you would like to see large corporates take for moms who have taken a career break, or moms that are returning back from mat leave? If there was one action.
One of the biggest battle I fought with was postnatal depression. And that will definitely increase once you join back to work, because you have a work pressure, you have family pressure, you have to juggle all of that while you're in work, and your child is somewhere at the daycare with your parents. You don't know how the child is doing. So I think that depression, I'm sure it's not a must, but maybe it can support some sort of a counseling session, or probably a time where they can get a break. Because even within the working hours, they still need that kind of break, just to sit on a corner, not talk to anyone. Because I had that same issue. Within the 3 years, I went through that pretty much. Because when you can't achieve it, you definitely feel depressed. You give up yourself. So that itself creates that kind of depression atmosphere around you. So I think the corporates, maybe, I mean, it's not a must, but maybe the counseling session would definitely help someone to sit and just talk to them, understand them, or probably, but even to my husband's bank, they actually even give their moms to leave early, especially even after their maternity leave. They can go, I think, up to 8 months or 6 or 8 months. They can go home a bit early to stay with their child, especially when they're breastfeeding.
Yeah.
So those little things, it's not just anything big we need, not any monetary support, but this kind of emotional support is what I'm actually looking for. And me building a business, especially coming from that kind of background, that's all I'm looking for in my business. So the women who work for me are part-time, not part-time actually, they're working for part-time, but I ensure that they spend also time with their families, their children. If they need a break, if they need a day off to go and, attend their child's work, I never hesitate, because I do understand having 2 kids. I know even if they're grown-ups or kids, it doesn't matter. I still give them the time. I'm not, I also explain my side of how I work with my staffs. I explain that to my buyers as well. This is how I work. It's a kind of a culture I'm building, because I have been through for some reason, and I should not be making the same mistake in my business, in my company. So I ensure I give so much. I welcome a lot of women in my company, in my business. And I like to have those little things that I wanted to implement in what could have been better at the time. I wanted to implement those things in my business. So I think the major thing would be the emotional support, the mentorship, the understanding from a mother's point of view, what she needs. Is just all that will, I think, help a mother.
I'm going to ask a couple of questions. I'll build up to it. Answer only if you're comfortable. About a decade ago, Imaka and I worked in a hotel. There was a beautiful event called a cake off where people would create cakes. They'll auction it at that event, and then the funds would be raised for this charitable organization called Pansy.
Okay.
Knew nothing about this, right? So both of us are there, we're helping, we're researching. It's an organization that helps both men and women battling with pre and postnatal depression. And that's when we first started. We didn't have kids at that time. That's when we slowly started understanding what it is, what supports look like.
Yeah.
Then you suddenly see your wife who's now had the baby crying in the shower for absolutely no reason. And then you understand, okay, so this is part of this cycle. What is the understanding levels, in your opinion, of mums, dads, or people in Sri Lanka about pre and postnatal depression? What supports are there?
I think 80 to 90% of the women in Sri Lanka, they go through that because it's the support. I mean, not only Sri Lanka, I think across the world, everyone goes through that. If you haven't been through, then you're so lucky. But I have been through where to the point I have even gone and hit my little one when he was 6 months, to that point, because it's, but you feel, at the time you don't want to feel judged by anyone because that's one way of you expressing. If you hold it back, even it's bad for your health. So it's okay to express it, but I'm not saying it's right. What I did was wrong, absolutely. I even decided to walk out one day from home. Like, I dressed up. I was like, I'm going to just walk out from this house. I'm not going to even look after him. It's kind of a feeling that I think a mother can't explain. I think for fathers, because they have work, when they slip on to work, they don't feel what's actually happening at home. So even for Tiron, if I have explained this to him, he took it in a very, he understood me, but he wouldn't, he understood what I'm going through, but he didn't know that was something called postnatal depression, because that's the first time we became parents. And he was like, what this shit? You're like, what's happening? But then he knew. He took it very slowly. He comforted me. He was there for me. But up to date, there is no solution for me. Because I've been a mother again. I very recently, 2 years back. So even that time, that was much more worse than the earlier one, because the elder one, I had support from my parents. They were there next to me. But this time, the second one, I was all alone. I moved out for my business. So I had this guilty conscience running in me through. Because of the business, I have to let go of my parents, because I have to actually move to Mount Lavinia for my for the scaled up space. So all brought me so much rejection, guiltiness, mom guilty, actually, to say. And even still, I still have that in me, the mom guilty, where I have to let go of my little one to daycare just because of my business. But that's all part and parcel of, I think, an entrepreneur, especially, because we have to be for our customers and for our family, for our buyers and for the suppliers. You have to be there. You cannot say no. Of course, if you want to say no, you still won't be able to say no. So you have to be there for everyone, juggling everything out. I think for men, in Sri Lanka, I think they have paternity leave. Not for not for many, but for the bigger, large organizations. But for women, I think, I don't know how to explain it, but even I think the environmental pressure also triggers that a bit. Not a bit, pretty much, because all that we have been through, from COVID to the crisis, it also builds up. I think for me that did a lot. I'm such a if you are an emotional person, I'm an emotional person, so I connect all that, and I like cry for what? I connect the crisis, I connect my problems, I connect my challenges, my business, everything. I connect everything, and then I sit and cry. Sometimes I scream.
The burden of being an intelligent woman.
Yeah, I know. Intelligent, yeah. So it's I don't know. I don't know how to explain it in words, but this is all I've been through. Even when I thought I will take I will come overcome the postnatal depression for my second one, but I simply couldn't. But it was worse because of my business, I would say, because the pressure was high. But I'm happy how I able to come out of it because I knew about this. I was prepared. But for the first one, I was not prepared at all. So I have to express it through actions for him. I have to hit him. I have to yell at him sometimes. So that's the way I was. I mean, it's. I thank the people around me who never judged me for what I was doing. That's more important for a mother.
Being a mother now for a while, having your second child. What has being a mother taught you about being a better business owner?
Best of me, I identified my best of me when I had my two kids. That is to just love and show empathy for people around me. Because, of course, we men do have a love and empathy towards people, towards their people around. But with God intervening in my life and my children, I started showing absolutely no reason. I mean, I'm a short-tempered person, to be honest, but everything changed after I had my child. So you can't get tempered with your children. You have to be so patient. Such patience, empathy, love are like the three words that I nurtured in me. I think that changed me. And then multitasking and quick decision making are like the other two things that I also I not learned actually. It became part of my life after you become a mother, because multitasking is yes throughout the clock, around the clock, I think. And then more than problem solving, it's the decision making and then the problem solving. Find the decision, then solve the problem. That's how, because the kids, they can't wait, they are impatient. So you have to be very fast in providing them the solution. And their questions are like immeasurable. So they keep questioning if you don't find a solution immediately. So all, I can see the change, from when Shivani back 5 years ago and Shivani right now is totally a different person, because they changed me. The kids changed me, to be honest. So being a mother is not being a mother and then becoming a mom entrepreneur, or maybe going back to corporate is not going to bring you, it's not going to make you incompetent. It's always going to bring you the best of yours to the people who you're going to work for or probably working under you. So the ladies who work for me, they love to come for work because for the environment, the atmosphere I have created, because it's not that I'm boasting, but I know who I was before. My husband knows who I was before. So from who I was to who I am today is because of my children and God himself. So it was a complete shift from, even for me, sometimes I sit and I ponder for myself, how could this happen? Because all change. I think children, they completely change for our good, and we become best of ourselves. We portray the best of ourselves, and people love to be loved. People love to hear some words of comfort. So I'm able to do that for my ladies who come to work. Even they come with so much of problems at their homes, and so I sit and listen to them despite whatever the work. I give half an hour time. There's a room for them. I call it ladies' room. We sit and we just talk there. We just understand each other, because for me also it's them, and I don't have anyone other than them, to understand my point of my kind of problems and issues. Even they provide me good solutions because they are older to me. They have been through the life about handling hardships. So their advice sometimes have really helped me too. Not even in my business, even my personal life. So it's nice to have like kind of one-to-one talk with your children, with your people around. Loving people, that's all it matters. I think that's what I've come across. Just love people for who they are, for the support they provide. So yeah, that's how it's been.
And you will be blessed for going beyond the word of, hey, I'm going to recruit some ladies and work with them. You've actually created a ladies' room where they can have a conversation, where they can share some knowledge,
Yeah.
which we hear about in like African tribal circles where people sit around and share knowledge. But while we have labels for everything, we don't really do all of it. We just try to color wash things and move past. Coming back to Miris and the product,
Yeah.
if someone buys one of your products and opens it, what do you want them to feel?
I only want them to feel proud about the product they have in their hand, because it's not just another product. For all that I've explained now, about all that I've spoken out, is the result. I think it's the courage of a woman, a dream of a woman, a vision that I carry in me, for just not for my brand, for my country as well. I only want to see Miris being that brand from Sri Lanka, because one day, on a random day, I just did this research and I came across there are so many brands representing each country. But Sri Lanka doesn't have a single chili, chili oriented or chili based product that can represent Sri Lanka. It's always cinnamon, coffee, tea, or coconut, but nothing to do with chili. So I'm building something that's very meaningful, not just for me alone, but for the country as well. So I want all my customers to feel proud about that. What they're holding is pure labor of love that's coming from a mother who has so much dreams in herself.
I've heard you say that each of your products has a story.
Yeah.
Share some of your favorites with me.
Okay, I think I'll share this one. The most admired, most sentimental story is that the chili jam, the Nai Miris chili jam. I developed this recipe with my sister, and I had all this going on. So I'm Tamil. I'm from the north of Sri Lanka. So when I visit north, I knew there are some ingredients that are not being used by even the Tamils living in Colombo, even me, even my parents. So on a day that I thought, why not we use palm jaggery instead of kittul jaggery? Because kittul, of course, has got its highlight. It has been known by everyone, but not palm jaggery. No one knows about it. Even I didn't know what it was. But that has been the only alternative for sugar for the northern and the eastern community, I believe. Because during the war, they didn't have access to sugar. So that was the only thing they've converted the jaggery. I mean, not that it's called, I can't remember the name, but they converted the raw material into a sugar in a jaggery form that they can use it as an alternative for sugar. So I thought, why not I try that, use that for my product. So when I did the product development and that was 100% successful, I thought, okay, on a day that I was just thinking about the marketing aspect, how am I going to do this? How am I going to build this product? What's the story I'm going to talk about this product? When I was thinking through, only I realized it's a truth. It's not the story. It's a truth where the jaggery is one of the main ingredient in the product, and Nai Miris is the second main ingredient in the product. And the Nai Miris only being consumed by the majority of the Sri Lankans, that's Sinhalese. And the palm jaggery is only consumed by the Tamils from the northern community. So I thought, oh my gosh, this product connects to community without even me realizing it. I didn't even think on that point. But when I sat and I think through, only I realized this connects to communities, to community of flavors that brings this product so it is one of the demanding, fast-moving product loved by all three communities. Muslims, they love because they love to use it in their kanjis during Ramadans. And then Sinhalese, of course, they love the Nai Miris, they love the flavor. Tamils, because they love the palm jaggery. So there's always some reason for them to purchase and use it. So it's connecting all communities in Sri Lanka, and especially the northern and the community majority of the Sri Lankans, they connect because of the flavor. So I that's the day I thought food can connect. Food can connect people. Food can connect communities. And food doesn't have any barriers. Anyone can try. Anyone can eat. Anyone can explore, experience. If you visit all these countries, you're definitely going to taste their traditional food, traditional cuisines, right? So likewise, when you taste Miris, when you taste the chili jam, you're definitely going to taste the flavors of these two communities. That's all I came to know, and that just blew my mind. I thought, okay, that's something that I have to speak, but I have still to date, I'm not spoken because I never felt comfortable to speak. But today I'm sharing in this podcast because I thought I must, because this is like the right time for me to share openly that it connects two communities, because I was, of course, afraid to share that. But now the brand has built and it has come to some point where it stands strong. So I wanted to share this. It's one of the biggest.
Harmony in a bottle.
Harmony in a bottle. Peace in a bottle.
Peace in a bottle. Wonderful. From somebody who started this as a passion project from a farmer who brought his Nai Miris to you, what's the point that it goes beyond a passion project into a scalable business? Is it there yet?
Yeah, it is. We came to that point by 2023. Even before that, it was a point where I realized there's customers repeatedly purchasing Miris. It was a point where I realized there's a demand for private labeling. It was a point I realized cafes and restaurants are approaching me for the product. It was a point where I realized, I think, there are importers who are looking for some unique products like this. That's the point I realized, oh, these are the reasons that I'm ready. I have to be now scaling up. It's no more my kitchen business. It has to now move beyond, because for exports, you need certifications. For certifications, you need a proper setup. So I realized it when in 2022, but I didn't have financial assistance or support. So Hatch, they came forward to support me. They knew, they understood my passion. They came forward to support me. They invested on Miris in 2023. And that's how I moved from my home kitchen to a bigger space in Mount Lavinia. Now we have a dedicated production space, which is certified for ISO 22000. We're doing exports without any guilt, because at the time when we did exports, we had some restrictions because we didn't have certifications. Now we do have certifications. We have the good product. We have a product which has naturally it has been preserved for 12, 15 months. So we have absolutely everything aligned properly, and working for its good, for working for its best, I think. So that's the point I realized, when people repeatedly come to you, when there are restaurants, I work with almost 7 restaurant chains. 2 of them are like major ones. So when they use them in their product, in their menus, I'm absolutely, I don't know, I have no words to say, because I never thought I will be part of that particular chain. But thanks to God, because it's all His favor and mercy that I've been through this, all that. Of course, there are a lot of competitions out there, competitors, but it's just Miris that has. I'm not boasting, but problem is the competitor products are good. They are completely fine. Problem is no one have still understood the concept of a hot sauce. That's where I think many of them fail, because they have added absolutely excess amount of sugar that eventually brings you down to a chili sauce category. So these hotels and restaurants, when they look for hot sauce, they look for this original, authentic hot sauce. So they go around, they purchase from all the competitors, and they end up at Miris. So that's how we've been there, working with them throughout. So it's the point I think I realized.
You said about the shelf life. You said it's a natural shelf life. As a parent that starts reading labels to give my children as less preservatives or sugar or plastic or salt as possible,
Yeah.
I read lots of labels these days. Tell me about your food tech side of it. I understand your sister plays a role in that.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you develop the food tech side of it. Tell me about the shelf life. How does that all work?
The recipe building is done by me, because I have my own choice of ingredients that, so not just for marketing purpose, but genuinely, I want to do something. I want to bring something unique to the product, right? So if I give it to a recipe developer, they're going to do something that is more convenient and comfortable. That can provide probably the shelf life that I'm looking for. But for me, I want to look for some challenging ingredients that no one would dare to use it in their products, or probably it may be challenging for them to use it to preserve the shelf life naturally. So because I want to make sure that Miris is always unique and unique in every aspect. So I develop the recipe. I sit down, I think through, I go browse, look for some unique ingredients from Sri Lanka, the fruits to spices, vegetables. Mainly it's the fruits I think I like to use because it actually gives this sweetness to the products. I don't want to add too much sugar for my products, so I like to get that sweetness from the ingredients itself. So I developed the recipe, and my sister, she works it out in a way that it preserves naturally for a shelf life of 12 months. That's a minimum I think any exporter would want. But we made it to 15 months. That's such a big achievement for a natural product because her techniques, her ways of working it out, what actually her little fine tuning, it's nothing much. The process is still a lengthy process because I like to keep it lengthy. It's hard to imitate, I believe. But it's the little technical side that she helped me on to preserve this product for 15 months. And I have customers, who, especially not from Sri Lanka, but from other countries, especially the cold climate countries. They have used it for over 2 years and they still work best for them. Still looks the same. Nothing has changed except for the flavor of the fruits might drop, but the spice level always increases because natural hot sauces, they ferment. They keep fermenting because you have not added any stabilizer to stabilize and stop stop the fermentation process. So it makes it more spicier eventually. So some people, they like to keep it and use it for a longer time because of the spice concentration. But as a business owner, I like to keep it for 12 months so that customers, they get the best flavor within these 12 months. So that's how we've been doing it. Yeah.
You spoke about the role of God in your life, and I'm going to speak about the role of temptation, okay? Temptation is there for every business owner.
Yeah.
You can put the cheapest ingredients with the most preservatives in there, give people a 36-month shelf life. Your products will be flying off the shelves. How do you avoid those temptations? Because a scalable business is about selling more products.
Yeah. For me, I think initially when I started, I wanted to take Miris to all the supermarkets, make it this wow product. But at a point, I thought, what am I doing? For who am I selling this product to? Is it because Sri Lanka is not a spice country who don't like much spice. They are the confectionery market, much to say. So that's the point I realized this is not for everyone. It's for the customers who truly, 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 truly celebrate Nai Miris. It's for them. So when I narrowed my market, I narrowed my way of thinking as well. Not that I narrowed the way of thinking. I started saying no for certain things because when you are a new business, when you're a new entrepreneur, you tend to be carried away with all these things that people share, advise, mentor to. You don't stick to what you want. You get carried away with all that. But for me, I was there. I was there at that point. But by I think 22, 23, I realized this is not for everyone. So I got my target. I narrowed my target audience to adventurous eaters, food explorers, and then the true Nai Miris addicts. Those are my three. And the hidden market is moms and dads who are unable to cook a spicy meal at home just because of their kids. I have been through, so I know that's a hidden market where I have indirectly targeted, but the direct audience are these. So people who love to celebrate Miris with them. So temptations, of course, I had a lot of temptations. I had like so many plans, but everything, of course, the cost also plays a role. So temptation cannot be achieved easily. But it's about knowing what your business is going to do for your customers, knowing your business worth, why it's existing, what is it going to do for your customers, to the people around you, the planet. Being a responsible business, not just to offer a product for the sake of offering, but to I don't know how to explain, but maybe it's a product that can speak to all the customers, all the audience who I'm targeting, not just the direct buyers, but anyone that this product can literally make you feel good about, and change the perception how you see a natural product. Because I had absolute challenge to convey this thing about natural thing. People didn't understand. People thought this product has to have like a long shelf life because it's a sauce, because that's how the our generation, we have been through to this. The sauce industry is such that it has to be preserved, it has to have a long shelf life. So when I say it's initially was 6 months until I got it tested and confirmed. So then from 6 to 12 months, now it's 15 months. So I had obviously a challenge where to educate my customers the difference between hot sauce, the normal ketchup, and then the sugar content sauce to the natural sauce. There was a whole lot of education I have to do. But people who grasped my idea, they became my customers. They became my repeat buyers. They understood. And now natural food, natural theme, organic have become very viral and popular. People do understand what I'm talking now. But at the time when I launched, people didn't understand anything. I have had a time, explaining this to my customers. So for me, I started saying no to a lot of things. Even now, I'm strictly saying no to even supermarkets. For me, I think last week, I even wrote an article on LinkedIn about how supermarket just rejected us just because we didn't include pictures or images of chilies and ingredients on the label. So that's one learning point where I decided Miris is not for everyone. It's because I don't want to be in the supermarket. Miris is not to be sold only in the supermarket. There are so many other ways where we can sell. And that's why we built our website. We want to be there for online customers because, of course, COVID was there. We had that option. But again, I wanted to ensure that Miris is there for people who truly look for some specialty, unique products. So saying no is good. I think that's where I became very stronger. I think when I started saying no, only I realized, okay, people actually started respecting me for saying no. I thought maybe people will just admire for the fact that I'm saying yes for things, but no. People still admire you as an entrepreneur when you even say no for things. So no is good for a lot of other aspects. So it can be for shelf life, for providing a good quality product, creating that sustainable environment for your business, providing a planet-friendly product for your business, for your customers. So likewise, this no has helped me to identify what can be done better for my business. So it's how it was.
You describe yourself as a mom entrepreneur. You sound like a really smart marketer. You have your target audience narrowed down. You've focused in on what you don't want to do. Saying no to supermarkets can be a very strategic move also if people understand how supermarkets work, if people understand the margins you're required to product, if people understand what they actually do to producers, then it sometimes is not the best option.
Yeah, no.
I also, from that point of view, love and appreciate your marketing, but I love and appreciate your branding.
Mm-hmm.
I love the calligraphy. I love the colors. I love the emotions it's conveying. How does that side of it work?
Yeah, so my background is from marketing and branding. I started my career as a management trainee from marketing aside, marketing and sales. So my career was from that side itself. Even at Dilma, I worked as a food service executive. So that's where I came to know about food. Making food out of tea is something absolutely unique, right? So that's why I realized, something unique has to be there to offer your customers. So the branding aspect I learned from Dilma. How Dilhan thinks is absolutely mind-blowing. How he works is, of course, mind-blowing. So working under him, working under Chairman MJF directly really helped me to think out of the box, because that environment, that workspace, you need to think different all the time. So that ability helped me to think different. So just because it's tea, Dilma doesn't put any much of tea leaves on their specialty teas. I have seen that. So all these brandings, that tips that really helped me to build my business as well. And apart from what I've learned, I'm a person who loves to convey a story, convey a message through the product. A lot of brandings, they first capture the brand. They speak the story directly from the label. But for me, I had the ideology that my product should speak the story out, while the branding must set Miris apart on shelf or on my marketing communications. So it was, and also I think I always think a little different. I'm not boasting again. I'm not boasting, but I like to think little out of the box all the time. Whatever I do, even I think even this T-shirt, my husband was like, "Why do you have to think such? A T-shirt with a bottle right at the back?" Because I don't know how to put the Miris logo standing out as a look. I don't. I love to do subtle branding. That's where I am. So I want to ensure that the branding speaks louder while also my product conveys a story. So, giving that when I explained this to a few of the people, to be honest, no one understood what I'm actually trying to say because it's a hot sauce. No one understood the category locally. So, it was my friend's husband, Niruval. He he had my thoughts. He grasped my thoughts. He was a designer. He grasped my thoughts. He hand drew the logo for me. The logo Miris is hand drawn on a doodle. So there it all started. He from there. I think myself and Nirubal, we started working together on the labels to everything. Very rarely people understand. Even to be honest, social media team. I have worked with 6 to 7 teams. No one grasped my idea. So now I do my social media. I have Canva. I do it everything by myself because it's hard sometimes to portray what I feel, what I want my customers to feel. It's always I don't know whether it's the right decision for me, for myself to be the social media person for my business, but I think I have able to communicate what I want through my brand from through the contents that I've built, through the unique branding that I've done. Everything is from what I wanted to be. So even if I express it out through words, I don't think anyone can put it out on a picture form, So it's very rare that people think out of the box. It's because Sri Lanka is into like the people, especially the I not to undermine anyone here, but manufacturers, they only think about packing a product and just labeling and selling it, but they don't think beyond. There is something that the label should speak its story or should stand out from the shelf. So a lot of people think very basic. They think very generic, but very rare that people think out of the box because people get penalized for thinking out of the box. Like me, the same situation when I approached a supermarket. I was literally told that I cannot get into a supermarket just because I didn't have a Nai Miris picture on the label. That's a kind of impression. That's a kind of ideology a lot of people carry here locally. If it's a Nai Miris sauce, you need to have a Nai Miris on the label. Kind of a ideology. So I didn't have that kind of thought process in me. I wanted to completely come out of it because branding is evolving every day. I mean, all that I've learned 10 years back is not what I'm doing right now. It's completely different. Even, of course, I don't have time to sit and read certain articles, but what I knew is things are changing, evolving. People, customers, how they see a product brand is completely changing. And when they want to own something, when they want to make them feel proud, they want to own something absolutely unique, not a generic brand. So these little things, even me as a customer, I put myself in their shoes and see how they would want a product to be. All these little things, I think, has helped me to build this branding for my business, for my brand, Miris. Yeah.
Strong values you have, a beautiful product you've got. You've got strong brand identity and recognition. You want to be an ambassador for Sri Lanka in the food space.
Yeah.
How are we taking this global now?
So currently, we started with my primary market is Australia. most of my customers, they migrated to Australia. So after they migrated during crisis, they wanted Miris, and I didn't have a way of sending it to them other than courier. Courier is absolutely expensive. I will never encourage any of my customers to get it down through courier unless otherwise they cannot live without Miris. That's the only time I give them the space to, okay, fine, you can go for it. But I still don't advise them to spend so much because the product cost is lesser than the courier cost. So I'd say, I say, it's pointless for you to purchase something, through a courier. So what they do currently is they ask their family, friends, whoever coming down, visiting them to bring these. So the Australian customers, Australian Sri Lankan diaspora customers, they buy in boxes and they ship it through their friends and families. So when I knew there's a market in Australia, I had 2 attempts. I failed in those 2 attempts. Because those 2 attempts those 2 are my customers who wanted to bring Miris, but they couldn't succeed because they were also new to the market. They didn't know the rules. They didn't know the label requirements. Even I was new to the industry. I completely know what Australia needs on label and product-wise, the certifications. We didn't have certifications. So all these issues, we failed twice. We couldn't take Miris to Australia. First, we started in Adelaide. Then I think Melbourne. Melbourne was a small project, but Adelaide was a big. We couldn't do anything much about it. So I didn't let go Australia. It's still in my process. It's in the pipeline. I'm still looking for some reliable importer who can truly understand Miris. But simultaneously, we started working on the UK market. UK market is really going well because we had an importer who also young as me and who understands my story, because it's very hard to sell a product to an audience who you cannot meet face to face or speak directly. So only these importers who do understand my side of the story can talk and communicate that point. So Miris, if it has to stay unique, I think the partners, the stakeholders also must understand this whole story behind Miris. So I'm happy and I'm so glad that I have found 2 importers in the UK who are supporting my journey, my vision while bringing the products to UK market. So apart from UK, I'm obviously, so when you asked me, I don't want to say this as a reason, but this is one reason. I thought maybe this may be a good idea or a good option for me to reach Australian customers. If so, because I'm actually looking for a real importer who can truly understand the values of Miris and support us on this journey for Australia. Because I'm predominantly targeting the Sri Lankan diaspora across the world. So it's the Sri Lankans who do understand what Nai Miris is. That's why even our product label boldly have mentioned Nai Miris. So even the whites, when they try the product, they ask, what's this Nai Miris? I said, when you all try Tabasco, do you all ask what Tabasco is? It's a chili, right? Similar to this. Nai Miris is a chili. I'm not going to change this name. I'm going to keep it as Nai Miris. People need to understand. They need to go and do their research and figure it out. Because we didn't have, when Tabasco came to Sri Lanka, we didn't know what Tabasco other than a brand name. But eventually I came to know it's a chili. So likewise, I want to create that kind of, a brand for chili itself. For Nai Miris to be a brand, not just a chili, a spice. So UK, and then we do have a contact in Sydney, which we are working on. I hope it will turn to be a fruitful one. But apart from that, I'm also interested in working for Maldives. Maldives is also one big country, not big country, I would say a country that loves chilies, especially Scotch bonnet. So I'm interested in working in that market as well. So I want to take this product to people who truly admire this chili. That's all. It's where I think the essence of Miris relies on knowing their audience, reaching to the right customer base. So yeah, so that's where we started and that's where we are going. And apart from that, I think we do individual orders to all the countries. Despite the courier cost, there are customers who are ready to pay. I'm happy for them, but I'm also sad. I will never encourage that courier, as because Sri Lanka is very expensive couriers, so I don't encourage. But we do international orders as well. But the direct export we started in UK. Canada also we tried, we failed again. That's the thing. Unless a person is ready to understand your point of story, I don't think they can never convey what Miris is. So, because it's hot sauce, it's not for everyone. Even in another country, it's not for everyone. So, people who truly understand this concept would definitely take this further.
Do you have a pitch deck for somebody who can be a prospective investor in Miris, or somebody who can be a supplier in another country? What do they need to have for you to consider them?
If they are going to work with me, they need to just think only this, that they are not think. I think they need to just to know this, that they are supporting a vision that just not only for me, that is going to support the entire country, a nation. Because when MJF started Dilma, I think he would have struggled. He just started as a wholesale business, and it became a brand eventually. How much effort he would have put, and all that partners. It's because of them Dilma is flourishing, because they got the right partners who still work with them for past 25, 30 years. I mean, I'm so amazed to see those kind of partnerships. So I think it's just that to understand the story, the essence of Miris, and definitely it's a unique product. If only they taste it, I can explain through words. Because if I say it, it's going to be, if I'm talking like this, it's just people are going to say, oh, it's another hot sauce. This is another hot sauce. But not really. It's beyond another hot sauce. It's about supporting a vision. It's supporting women around behind this business who are taking this business throughout. Other than my husband, I think everyone is women, including my finance, including my food tech, including my social media person. So everyone is women. It's a women team. And we all have a dream. For me, my dream is not just to achieve this vision, but to support these women who are supporting me in return. Because I hear their stories. I know how the hardships they go through. So I want to support them back. Apart from that, Miris is absolutely a sustainable business. So our little efforts would not only support the effort, the sustainability of the business, but also it will create awareness about it, because we are against food waste. We have absolutely. I'm completely against food waste. I'm not going to waste a single bit of sauce. I ensure that we create even the leftovers. We ensure we give it back to our laborers, or even we make samples out of it. So it's just that it's a meaningful, it's a purpose-driven business that I'm building. So if a buyer or if a partner is interested to work with us, they're carrying a bigger responsibility in their shoulder to take this. Because I don't know how to explain this. It's about supporting and respecting someone's big dream. That's all I would want to say. I know they're definitely going to get something in return, but other than the monetary value, I'm saying, like, it's a dream that that's all I can say. It's just a dream that I'm building for myself, not for me. For the people around me who has to benefit from this. I have so many plans through this. It's not just to gain monetary benefit, but to support, do some more mentorships, mentor a lot of women around me who are struggling in their life. So through this business, I wanted to create awareness on that side of aspect as well, not just to create an empire for hot sauce, but also to work on the behind side of back end of the operation, where a lot of women are struggling. I've been through. I've been hearing stories. So it's about building a business with a purpose. So that's all I have to say. I think I didn't have words to explain it, but this is all I have to say. That they're uplifting a business with a purpose.
In a world that doesn't always paint men or husbands in the best light, you've had a husband that stood by you, that did what he could do, that supports you. What role has Tyrone played in all of this?
If not for Tyrone, I don't think I wouldn't have come this far. It's because, of course, my parents also play a major role in, looking after my children, assisting me, helping me out. But Tyrone, I think, whenever I feel down, whenever I'm pulled down into my, pulled down my from my strength. I mean, whenever I'm strengthless, whenever I'm like demotivated, he is there for me to say, just get up and go. You don't need to worry about so much. It's just a simple thing. It's a matter of sorting out in a millisecond. It's not a big deal. He's there always to. He does all the dirty jobs, to be honest. He does all the dirty jobs, but never gets highlighted out. His work, I mean, for all that he's doing, looking after the children. Even today, he has to pick. Of course, I also go for the basketball practices with my kids, but for these kind of sessions, he ensured that everything from his side is done and that I don't need to worry about. So for meetings to things like he'll take care of everything. At the house chaos to children and everything. If I have a option of doing something very important, and he have been that voice that I wanted every time whenever I fail, whenever I give up, whenever I lost that hope. He been that voice to just encourage me and just sit and listen for all that, because women we just share everything out. We want someone to just listen to us. So that person is Tiran for me. Like, he just sits and listens and helps me to understand why this has went wrong, why this has gone wrong, and he has done everything possible to bring this brand to this point by doing everything that is behind the scenes. It's always he goes to source supply raw materials. He speaks to the suppliers, which I don't know how to even bargain sometimes, because most of his suppliers are direct farmers, so it's hard. He have done all the dirty jobs. Like, he have dirtied his hands to the best for the business. So it's just him. I don't know how to explain. He have done everything. He have been part of business. So I don't know. I cannot specifically say things, but he has ensured that business goes smooth without any interruption. Despite his work, despite his career, his banking job, of course, it's more crucial than what I'm doing. It's more responsive. The job that he's doing is more intense. But still, with all that, he ensured that, he supports my business in every aspect, everything to be from the children to the business to my mental stability, everything he looks after. So I'm absolutely grateful and blessed. I mean, those are the two words I can share, because I don't think, not that I don't think, but very rare you find men like that to support your goals, your journey, who just blindly believe your vision. When I say I want to set Sri Lanka in the global stage for hot sauce, he was like, good, continue. That's the way of thinking. You need to think big for you to achieve something extraordinary. So it's a big vision. It's very big to think of, but I think we can definitely achieve one day, very soon.
Your vision in your mind might be big, but your vision in your mind is not just for you. From the little I have heard today, it's supporting lots of other people. It's also beyond that. It's also for a young girl, wherever they are in Sri Lanka, wherever they are overseas, maybe one of my children, saying, hey, Auntie Shivani can do this. Why not we give it a try, right? It's got that ability to move people forward. And for that, you will be truly blessed for that. If somebody wants to connect with you, if somebody wants to learn more about Miris, if somebody wants to be an investor in your business, a partner, whatever that is, where do people find you?
So they can find through our website, buymiris.com, 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 or our social media pages, our social media handles. Nai Miris Addict is our Instagram page, and Miris by Island Mom is the Facebook page. And of course, I'm on LinkedIn as well. My business and my personal profile, Shivani Tiron, is my business LinkedIn profile. They can reach me out through LinkedIn, or if not, my mobile. My number is 077-2325-429 is my WhatsApp number, where I connect. I directly deal with my customers, so that number is for me and to communicate with my customers. So they can definitely approach me through the number as well.
Shivani, what change do you want to bring for, because you have speaking so broadly about your business and everything else, what change do you want to bring for your beautiful little family in the next, let's say, 5 years?
I want. I expected a girl, but I didn't have girls now, so I can't. I had two boys, so I want to.
Are you telling Tirana you're having a third one?
No. Tiran, no way. Tiran is already. I was like, no way. No, I want my sons two things. One is that for them to feel proud about what their mother is up to. I know I'm letting go. I have to sacrifice so much of their time. Time that I've spent with them, because as a mother, I do have guilty consciousness all the time. So I want them to feel that what mommy is doing is something not just only for them, but for this country, for these people, for the people around her. And the other thing is that they must learn to respect women and support their wife in their future. So even from nowadays onwards, tell my elder one, do this. My Tiran doesn't know to cook at all, so I tell him at least learn that, because at point you will need your wife to your wife need a break. She cannot be cooking for you throughout. So learn those little things. I started telling them now itself, because I 8 years back, I couldn't join a job because that corporate didn't have a culture. That corporate didn't have a culture because the men in that corporate didn't know how to treat a woman. And these all start from the family. So even if my son, at a point when he has to take over Miris and run, it then would not be a women-led business. It was going to be a man, probably. I don't know. Maybe his wife. I don't know. But whatever said and done, this business has to support women. So they need to learn from their childhood, from these days onwards, to respect women, to support women, and to give them the space they require. So I started telling them that. And the other thing, they need to understand that what mommy is doing right now is all for their good. So all the sacrifices that I'm making at the moment, those little moments that I couldn't spend with them, the time that I'm letting going because of business sake, is for them to know that that she's creating something very meaningful, and not. It may sound very odd for them. My son still questions me. He have gone and told the teacher that mommy doesn't have time to teach me. I like to learn maths, but she's not teaching me at home. So these kind of things, I don't know. Yesterday it was a parents teachers meeting. I heard all these teachers telling me, and they asked me, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I have a business called Miris, and I'm working on that."
Here are 2 samples for you to try later.
I was shocked when they have gone and told that. I felt bad, and that really increased my guilty consciousness. I was like, oh gosh, I have not done anything for them. But I came home and I told him, because I couldn't spend time with you teaching, because I have something much more bigger that I'm building, and I want you to understand. But if you need any help, you come ask me, then I will help you. But you don't need to be quiet on a corner sitting there while looking at what mommy is doing. He does that. He sits in the corner and looks what I'm doing. Like when I'm on laptop, he asks me, but sometimes I don't get time. So I told him yesterday, I'm building something very meaningful. You need to support me. I know you're too small to understand this, but I hope you will understand. So these are the two things I want them to, understand, and of course do in their future, to support women.
Shivani, thank you for making the time to have this conversation. Thank you for being a business leader that made time to have a conversation with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for this time. I'm so happy and glad I met you after 13 years. And I'm happy that we had a beautiful conversation today. Some things which I have not even spoken out, I was able to share. Some questions I didn't have words how to explain. But I hope what I'm trying to mean would, will be spoken out to the people, to the audience who really need some help. So as a woman, I'm ready to support any women around me, so they can obviously reach me out. I'm doing some help with all the entrepreneurs, the new entrepreneurs. I'm supporting them in their businesses. So if they need any help, they can definitely write to me, and I'm happy to help them, because that's where I'm here for, not just to build a business alone. So yeah, thank you so much, and Yeah, thank you.